Alright, in this HD tutorial, we're going to install the Vantage WordPress.org theme onto this website and then go ahead and customize it with an image slider and page builder plugin and a few other items. Vantage is this theme right here on WordPress.org, which I guess in the popular section makes it the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th most popular WordPress theme. I'm making this tutorial in conjunction with this business website video of mine that you might have seen, and while I obviously love responding individually to everyone, I've gotten enough questions on aspects like the image slider and the page builder and more that I thought we should just make a separate tutorial on it. So let's get started. Alright, here we are on self-hosted WordPress.net, which is just one of my dummy websites, along with NeuroGuy.com, which hosts a different website for an e-commerce tutorial, which you can look out for soon. So let's go ahead and install that theme. Okay. Vantage is a free theme, and we can get it quickly and then install and then activate it. Alright, so I'm assuming you've done this much, and let's see how our site looks right off the bat. Alright, so we have the text logo, the navigation menu with our pages, Call Me Maybe, the search bar. Vantage has populated our WordPress site with this demo slider. And then we have the circle icons, the prompt to install page builder. We have a call to action widget, and then a post loop, and what looks like a text widget, and then the footer. So this is what Vantage provided my site with from the start. If your site looks different, please post a comment and let me know. If we delete cache, everything's still the same. Let's go back to the dashboard, and I want to see what our homepage is set to in settings. In reading, it's set to our latest posts. So let's see what happens when we choose a static page. And select a page. Alright, so setting the home page to an About Me page or any other static page on your site provides us with the image slider still at the top, and then a solid page layout below with this picture of myself doing a kickflip and a sidebar and some text. Let's see what happens if we edit page. Okay, and then let's select a different template like blog and update, and now view page. Alright, so setting the home page to a page on your site with the blog template will give you the traditional blog post layout. Alright, these are the posts that are published now on this site so far. So if you don't want the image slider and you do want the traditional blog layout, then that is how to do it. Alright, let's look at our plugins now, because I want to see if Meta Slider and Page Builder are in plugins already. So I'm going to click plugins, and in fact they are not. We only have 5 plugins. Akismet, which is the spam protector, and it's a great idea to activate that with your own key. We have Hello Dolly, which is the cute plugin made by Matt Mullenweg, the founder of WordPress, giving us this quote at the top of the pages. We have the plugin I installed for quickly editing thumbnail sizes. That's Post Thumbnail Editor. We have Sidekick, which looks like came with Vantage, and it's a training walkthrough plugin that I've never used, but kind of cool. And then we have WordPress Super Cache, which likely came with the first installation of this site, and that helps speed up page load times. Let's install our page builder and our meta slider, but before we do that, let's go to theme settings and see what Vantage instructs us to do. Let's go to the home tab, and we can see right away that the theme sort of hints us to install meta slider, and this is a good idea, so we're going to do it right now. I always recommend installing the recommended plugins for things like sliders and page builders right away. It's not going to harm your site, it's only going to help it, and it's good to get that stuff out of the way. Alright, we've installed meta slider, which we can start using, and let's go to the home page and see if anything changed. Alright, nothing changed. I'm going to edit our page though and put it back to the default template so we can hopefully see our demo slider again. Alright, there it is. Alright, so I've heard from enough people on YouTube and through email that their demo slider didn't show up on their website, that they didn't have this demo slider right when they installed Vantage. So I knew that something was up, and what I think is the case is that on your dashboard, in the appearance theme settings area, the home page slider is set to none, all right, instead of demo slider. And demo slider will work and show up even if meta slider is not installed like we just did. But if it's set to none, then you're going to get a home page and other pages without the slider. So I think that is the fix. I still apologize on behalf of the theme if your slider isn't working or if that frustrates you, but I think that little setting is the fix, and it usually is just a setting or a small mistake in WordPress that causes something not showing up, as opposed to an actual problem with the software, which is very, very, very rare. In any case, let's go ahead and make a new slider that we can select instead of the none or the demo slider options. Let's click meta slider, and we're going to create our first slideshow, but first we need some images. So let's go to Google Images, and we can do a Google image search for Google Images. That's kind of pointless. Let's look up something nice like nature. Alright, lots of good nature photographs. And I like going to the search tools and selecting usage rights, which we can use, and a large size. So that's just a little hint. I like putting this filter on my image searches because you get lots of images from Wikipedia, which are high quality and free of any sort of copyright restrictions. Let's go ahead and get tree 1 and save it, and then the waterfall and save that one, and the pond. Those are some nice peaceful images. And to start making our slider, I'm going to open them in pixlr.com. And I'll show you why in a second. Let's click open image from computer and then hit control, and I'm going to select all three at the same time. And now I want to adjust the size. So I want to make all of our images the same size. Don't know why tree turned out so small, but it did, so I need to save it again. Alright, let's open up tree again. And it turned out small because I right-click saved too soon. Alright, using my trackpad, I'm going to make the images a little smaller so I can see the whole image within the canvas. And this is all stuff you can do from home on any sort of simple computer, so nothing to worry about there. The only tricky part here is deciding what size we're going to crop the images to using this crop tool up in the upper left corner right here. And to know that, let's click create your first slideshow and let's see what WordPress suggests. Here we are in the settings for meta slider, and it really doesn't suggest any sort of width or height except for 700 and 300 pixels, and I know that this is too small. This is how big the slider window is by default, and I want larger. So I'll just tell you right now that a good size for the images is 16 by 8. So if we bring constraint down to output size, we can see that the original size in pixels of the image will show up, and I want to change that to 1600 width by 800 height because I know this is a good size for the meta slider on the Vantage theme. Alright, with that inputted, we can bring our cursor to the corner of an image anywhere, up, down, bottom, wherever you like. And I'm going to go with the upper left because that just makes sense to me. And click, and then drag. So click and drag. And if you get an area that's not good, you can either move it by dragging the selected area, or if you click out of this selected area, you can cancel the selection by just pressing no. Alright, but I want as much of the image as I can get, which looks like that area, and I want to drag this downwards to include some of the grass. And once I've got the right selection, I can click enter. Alright, we now have a 1600 pixel by 800 pixel image, and let's save it. We can overwrite tree 1, and we're all set. Now let's just do that same thing. We can click no to both other images. And even if they show up really small like this on the canvas, they are still the same size. You're not actually changing the image in its size, you're actually just looking at it differently. So same thing, crop, click enter, control save, and then overwrite your image. Alright, I'm not sure why it double checks with us there because we already saved the image. And then finally the waterfall. Again, just drag from any corner using the crop tool, position your selected area to get the best part of the image possible, and then click enter to crop the image. Then click control save and OK and overwrite. Alright, we're all set. We can close Google Images and we can close Pixlr. So Pixlr is a good tool for that and many other functions with images if you're someone like me who doesn't like bothering with Photoshop and all of its ridiculous terms for simple things. Now let's click Add Slide. Okay. And let's upload those 3 images in a bulk upload. I'm going to hit Control on my Mac and grab all 3 and then click enter. Alright, we've selected all 3 with the check mark above them, and we're going to add to slider. And those should populate nicely. Alright, now that we've done that, we want to change the width and the height to match our images. So with any slider, there is always 2 widths. There's a window width, which is how big you set the slider to, and then there's the size of the image. Now, if the image size is smaller than the window size, but you have a setting like 100% wide output stretch, then that image will stretch to fill the window and you'll get a blurry result. So as a rule of thumb, you want your images to always be bigger than the window size of the slider. And in this case, we can just set our window to exactly the size of the images, or maybe a little bit smaller. All right. And we can see what happens without these settings below. All right, let's save our slider, and before we do it, let's just name it Home Slider and save. All right, now we can go to the theme settings and select Home Slider and save. And let's see what we got. All right, so there you have it. We have a 3-image slider with the autoplay setting, so it will automatically scroll. It's not a perfect slider. I might change the height a little more or put some overlay text in, but it's good enough for now, and at least we're making some progress on our new Vantage website. All right, now I'd like to add Page Builder so that we can customize the home page. So let's go back to the dashboard and let's find the best place to add Page Builder. And the best place now is the plugin section. All right. I'm going to search for Page Builder and see what we get. And Page Builder is a common title, so you'll have to do a little filtering here with your own set of eyeballs. But we want the one by Site Origin because they also made Vantage. And one hint for which plugin to get is the number of downloads. All right, we can see this is the right plugin. We can install it. And then let's activate. So now when we go to our appearance and theme settings, on our home layout, we don't have anything different. This is the same as before, and we've already installed MetaSlider. We now just installed Page Builder. So what changed? All right, what changed for us is the homepage option. And on Appearance Homepage, to get the Page Builder feature working on your homepage, instead of a separate static page on your site or whatever you had in Settings Reading, you'll need to click on this button to turn Custom Homepage on. All right, once that is set to on, let's save it. And I believe that will overwrite the current settings so that now we have a website that looks a lot more like that demo. And now we can actually edit this content to put in whatever it is that you want for your website. All right, so editing the circle icons and the other widgets and rows should be pretty straightforward. That's all covered in my business website 2015 video. However, I want to note that the Vantage headline does come with Page Builder because I've had a lot of folks complain that it didn't, and I'm pretty certain it does. So if it maybe didn't and your Page Builder looks like this right here instead, then if you just click Add Row and set the row to one row layout, add the widget for headline. You can add a headline widget, and then you can create a title with some copy below the title, and then just click Done. And then on the row, you can edit the row by hovering over the gear, or the wrench rather, clicking Edit Row, and then just set the row to a background color, maybe a light gray, and then a full width row layout at the bottom, and then save. And then we can see how our headline looks. And that feature is similar to the call to action. So that's one workaround if you don't have the call to action widget and you want to create some sort of similar message on your homepage. Alright, the last thing I want to do in this tutorial is just to add WooCommerce, which is the free WordPress plugin for e-commerce. Alright, you probably get the picture at this point. It's a free add-on, so it's going to be a plugin and an add new. And WooCommerce should come up pretty easily. I hope we haven't had the best luck in this tutorial, but we got WooCommerce right here, and they are definitely excelling e-commerce. So we're going to install WooCommerce, and then click OK. Give it a double check on that it has at least 6 million downloads and good reviews first, because there are other WooCommerces which might try to impersonate this original WooCommerce. Alright, and activate. WooCommerce is going to be a little bit more involved, and it gives us a lot more settings already. We get a products feature where you can explore products, choose how you get paid for your products like PayPal or credit card or money order. You can set up the shipping features and lots more fun stuff. And in WooCommerce, on the left navigation, you can set up coupons and play with lots of other settings. The first thing to do here, though, is just to click Install WooCommerce Pages. And this will give us pages like a shopping cart and an account page and a checkout page. So let's click Install WooCommerce Pages. And that's all set. We've got WooCommerce. So let's now go to Pages, and we can see that it automatically created these awesome cart and checkout and my account and shop pages. Let's see if our site changed at all by that addition. And it did, in fact. Our menu got a lot more interesting. Alright. Let's click on cart and checkout, and we can see that the theme is definitely working. We have a e-commerce functionality added, but no products yet, so it's not too interesting, but at least things are working. The next step would be to add products just by going to products and then add product. So just for the heck of it, we can set up one product while we have a little more time, and that product needs a featured image. So I like to set the featured image first because that helps me decide what to write about the product and how I'm going to market it and how I'm going to design it on its product page. Let's see if I have anything interesting to upload, because none of our current media images could be used. And it looks like I have some donuts, which are always good in moderation. And let's make the featured image the donuts and then call it something, and then just write some text here about the donuts. Alright, so you're going to also want text that describes the product and don't skimp on the description, because you can never really underestimate how much information your customers will want. Picture yourself on Amazon looking around, and you are definitely more upset when you can't find a review or a characteristic like a size or any part of the features. You are more upset when you can't find it than when you can. So more information is a good thing. Let's give the product a category and a price. All right. So it looks like price is set to pounds here. You'd want to change that in the settings, in WooCommerce settings, and then a sale price maybe. All right. Obviously, lots here to play around with when you get time. Just post me a question in the comments if you'd like. As I noted at the beginning, I have an e-commerce tutorial coming out which should cover all of this and much, much more in the world of WordPress online e-commerce. But for now, we just want a simple product. So we've published our first product, and let's see if the site changed. Homepage looks the same, and everything else looks the same, but our product will hopefully be now in shop. So there it is, and we can see that the donuts thumbnail comes in, and this all looks very much like a scenario where we could buy the donuts and then take them home and devour them. Alright, there you have it. This is a cart page which your readers could click on to then buy the products through PayPal or credit card or whatever other means you set up. And I'm glad we're ending on a good note, because that was a little bit dicey of a tutorial, figuring out how to use Vantage. I apologize for any pauses or walkabouts that we took, and I want to say thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed learning how to set up the e-commerce through WooCommerce, the page builder, and the slider in no particular order. Lastly, please rate the video if you get a quick chance, and post a comment to say hello or with any questions at all. I'd love to help out. Alrighty, until next time.